This is a thriving ecosystem. It has evolved over the years. The number of creatures is beyond your imagination. If you want to see the evolution of animals, the tadpole turns into a giant toad, or gather together forever. In-depth communication. Can multiple beta groups coexist peacefully? Ant lizard. How scorpions prey on beetles, etc. Then this video is for you. From an empty water tank to a miniature world. Are you ready? Now, just lie down in a comfortable position. The following will take you from scratch. Learn about his entire history. In fact, some animals in this ecosystem now didn't live here from the beginning. Let me give you a king bomb at the beginning. For example, this little guy with a brown furry tail. Haven't you seen it? His name is Shebang, a super ancient species. First appears in the middle of the Devonian season. It's about 400 million years ago. I can't imagine it. His cousin. They were the first invertebrates to conquer land. He looks a bit like a silverfish. Fortunately, he is not a protected animal. Otherwise, you will end up in jail. This is the European fire ant. It is one of the many bee groups introduced into this ecosystem. Now you see part of it. After this time, most of the eggs are underground. These winged fire ants. It's a higher level. You can think of them as a prince and princess. Because fire has a cruel habit. So, they may become many bee. The strongest in the group. I originally thought their aggressive nature. They will definitely be in trouble with their neighbors, grass ant clash. But surprisingly, they get along very well. Next up is the European scorpion. They are the natural enemies of beetles. Not only this weak beetle, even if the big bugs are. As long as he catches me, the general will pierce the opponent's body alone. The prey's body will be paralyzed. Become his food. This is another kind of ant. The name is covered sweater. Their body color is yellow. They usually live underground. Although the individual is small, but they can even eat earthworms. Okay, the next two. Initially, I lived in this small rainforest prepared for them. These are two fusion. Their colors are really nice. Looks super cute too. But don't let him fool you. He's an apex predator. Be above animals. In other ecological environments. After raising, it was put into the current ecosystem category. So this part of the animal breeding process. In fact, it is also the simplest. This is the early stage of water town design, compared with the current prosperous ecosystem. It seems very simple. Just planted some flowers and plants. This is the waterfall I will always love in the future. These plants. It later became a place where many small animals like to stay. Now let's look at them through the vegetation. It seems like these little guys get along pretty well. Slug lying on the ground. Next to him are two kinds of priests. This guy blends in with the surroundings. Almost didn't notice him. He is a meat-eating blind pig. You can tell from the name. He is not a camellia player. The beetle is a very hard-working insect. Get up very early every day. Then look for a place with stairs. He will stand up and eat steps like a cow. As long as there are steps, you can see his figure. In the ecological environment, there are many beetle-like animals like this. This beetle is called the European captive beetle. Pitch black. Climbing in very quickly. They really do look like little black tanks. Running around. These nights. Why did the active guy come out during the day? They are Millipedes. There are many legs under the body in fact. I never saw him again after that. I don't know if he is hiding in the underground. Or was it eaten by other animals? If he had more legs, he would be first. The second one must be this little guy. Compared to land, he prefers places with lakes. The activity track is on the plants beside the lake. Feeding on lakeside plants. Do you know what animal it is? You may have noticed. This ecosystem is surrounded by this huge tree trunk, divided into two parts, land and water. The trunks embrace the land from above and behind. Such a good feng shui treasure land. I want to live in it. In the early stages of the ecosystem, animals need energy. A piece of ham was placed on the ground. Become a food source for most animals. Unexpected, this piece of ham also attracted a lot of flies. There has been an extreme increase in fly populations, as you can see. Even these pastures. In resolving disputes between them, flies are also swarming around them, buzzing. They're not trying to stop the fight. This is laying eggs on leaves. What does an increase in fly numbers mean? You might guess. Congratulations, you guessed it right. That's how the beard was created. A spider was found in a corner of the water town. Look at these spiders, they are really cute. As time goes by, the entire forest floor is covered with spider webs. Suddenly found a bloody kombu. After the reserve, this is incredible. How did he get into this ecosystem? He was desperately looking for food like a madman. Now, he is hiding in this hinterland. It's a perfect hiding place. He's moving at lightning speed, running down a 90-degree hill. What is this for? It turned out that I smelled the scent of honey. Except later, there are other animals that steal honey. This behavior of robbing other animals. Natural explanation attempt, one way or another. Now the urgent question is where he came from. Now all we have to do is wait and follow his trail. Follow him and he stops and goes inside. It seems that he came out of this big wood. Could it be that he had lived in this wood before? Follow the wood in. This is really amazing. The Group B that was originally planned to be introduced has not yet started. Maybe there is his empire inside the wood. He became the first ant in this ecosystem. Or Group B. I thought everything in this ecosystem, all within controllable range. Unexpectedly, there was a surprise. But anyway, the observation phase is coming to an end. If you create such an ecosystem in the future, remember to make a waterfall too. Not only can make the water tank look good, because of flowing water can be formed in the ecological environment. A very cool additional structure. It also allows more water to evaporate, increase the surrounding humidity, provides for many bugs. A very attractive microclimate. Allows biodiversity to develop. You see, the pond below hasn't been renovated yet, but there's already movement. This amphibian, wandering around, you can see some bubbles around him. This makes sense, because all the animals of the same species, originally aquatic crustaceans, they can breathe in water. And this guy, you thought he was training his butt? Actually, he is moisturizing his buttocks. This might moisturize their cheeks. Why is there a little spider fox underwater? Where are you from? One way or another, it's finally time to introduce the melting source, waterfall pond, and the ecological environment prepared for them. These pyrosol sources are very special. Some can even live to 50 years old. This may be because they hibernate for several months in the winter, They are mostly nocturnal. But today we might be lucky enough to see them during the day. Sometimes after rain, you can also see their shadows appearing. They eat all kinds of bugs, such as mealworm spiders and broadfish. These animals have. So, this is a perfect place for these two hungry little beasts. In addition, they will even eat the melting source and the decoy tile. They can reach up to 25 centimeters when grown. At the end you can see how big they are. Now they all climbed up the waterfall. Start exploring the world. Let them play. The camera cuts back to the other species of animals. And fortunately, some of them can't swim. So, we often have to fish them out of the pond. Because there are no aquatic animals in the water, the only way to eat them is to put them back on land, used as food by other land animals. Can't waste. That night, a birch-like animal was discovered. This is very rare. Is it because of consanguineous marriage? These beetles are breeding faster and faster. Apparently, predation come and deal with these multi-ethnic little bugs. Maybe reactive power can, but I don't believe in his ability. Let's trust Scorpio first. Can they control the ice tribe? Really hope they can control contribution to animal populations. Eat from dusk to dawn. Eat him until the sky is dark. Or just catch them day and night. Killing them with poison attacks is also possible. But after observing for a while, I found that I thought too much. This guy is easy to please. I don't want to work if I only eat 5 kinds of food a year. So it's time to bring in the fire ant colony. First, from the environment in which they originally lived, carefully connected to the soil, dig out their nests. Then include some soil. Put them into the current ecological environment. I didn't expect that when I put it in. Their entire nest is turned upside down. But they seem quite calm. I really hope their queen is not pregnant. Soon the ant workers started working. Just like in nature, like most other organized ants. Soon they had built the pillars and the path, including a temporary tunnel leading to their future nest. Look at these ants. It seems as if I have seen other species of animals whaling. Look at the soil. He's already starting to take shape, full of various creatures, mainly microorganisms. Sometimes dig up the soil. You'll also see larger underground creatures, like this giant earthworm. This earthworm looks weird. Its body color is not like other earthworms. It is yellow. Say, do you know what other underground creatures are? Covering Sweater, the queen and his slaves. We are all ready to enter this new world. To welcome them into the new world, I gave them some honey as a gift. But the interesting thing is, when the ant worker is checking, when they provide honey, they don't seem very interested. 2 days. They left the test tube, found a piece of land. Like fire ants, they dug a tunnel. Tunnels extend through the soil all the way to the bottom, because they like the very humid environment there. Now there are to be groups entering. It's time for the third ant to move in. After putting them in the same way, also use some honey to lure them out. But they seem to be sensitive to their surroundings, and all the creatures inside don't care, refusing to move out for a whole week. This isn't really the best, because they are exposed to light and the ecological environment. This makes them very fragile in the test tube. Therefore, the test tubes can only be transported underground. Here, They can wait in their beloved test tubes. Stay longer. Will not be harmed. I really hope they get out of the test tube quickly. Find a suitable nest. But when checking the pipeline again, an emergency occurred. After the Aboriginals went crazy outside their test tubes, he was beginning to try to force his way into their lair. I don't know why he did that. This can only end one way. That is, he will eventually be killed by another groupie. But for now, ants in the museum, it seems to be afraid of this crazy and ferocious. But the ending won't change. After a confrontation, sure enough, this Aboriginal was defeated in the battle. I don't understand. Why would he face a group of people alone? But surprisingly, he was not eaten by the harassing group. They just put him facing outwards. Looking at his body, prepare to let him go in a decent manner. So a natural burial ceremony was held for him. He returned to nature. Become organic. Let others in this ecosystem enjoy it. Hey, don't be sad. A life lost. Another life will be born. This is the cruelty of nature. Like this earthworm eating leaves. Every creature, the sustainability of ecosystems, all play an indispensable role. However, in this world, the most ambitious moment is the slug. But in fact, everything is in the eye of the beholder. Because some people are going to get slapped in the face soon, slug is the most male. Excited moments can always end the top predator. There is still an essential difference. Here is an incredible letter action movie. Please hold your breath. Next you will see who is the real top predator in this world. Some people might think it's a scorpion. Don't rush. Wait and see what happens. This is the hottest scene so far. If you chose Scorpion, it will be disappointing. I like this action movie very much. Ron Yuan's movements are smooth and flowing. Slugs may have escaped death, but the same forever ate most of one of the slugs. But it's not an easy meal. Slugs are sticky. Look, he's opening his mouth. I guess my mouth is a little glued. Huh. In fact, in the natural level, this kind of thing happens all the time. Just look at the lawyer and you will see. Take this spider, for example. He was standing by the waterfall. Beetle waiting to drown. What a clever strategy. No effort required to eat food. Something more meaningful than this. Huoyi also began to prey on priests. That's exactly what they were put in there for. Help control their population. Because they reproduce so fast. Other organisms like these red mites are also feeding. But they are not predatory. These cloves are sometimes less than 1 millimeter long. It feeds on plants such as grass and lilac. However, some creatures still grasp the food airdrop. Over time, they will receive food airdrops from time to time. Just like today's society, the same is true in nature. Some animals work hard to find something to eat. Some animals will take advantage of opportunities. Look carefully and you will be in many places. You can see the ants. They are looking for sugary treats from toothworms and mealworms. Secretions, these are a reliable source of food. Look at this biologically active soil. Microbial activity is more vigorous. One way or another, external food is usually consumed within a few days. Fast time. Some things disappear overnight. Like this cucumber. The insects discovered it. You see slugs on it. There are some other small creatures. One night, the cucumbers were completely eaten. No trace left. These two slugs. What are they trying to do? Behavior is a bit abnormal. Usually they are either eating or sleeping. But now they are climbing the surrounding trees. So that's how it is. Looking for excitement in the wild. Actually, this is the habit of slugs. Go into a higher place can increase the release of slugs. Then when the slug slime dries. That's it. What does this look like? If you ask where the children are, I don't know either. Who knows? Cut back to the spider. It rationally uses the terrain to form a network. It is more advantageous when you have a net to catch. Like this elegant spider overlooking its web. The network is being built at an astonishing speed. Pig web management is even more important for these spiders. Because this is what they eat. But their pig net. They are also often destroyed by other larger individuals. Look at this spider. Just caught a fly. Not yet time to be happy. A Changyogen shows up in the second half. The flies are killed and eaten forever. The king who worked so hard to rule was also destroyed, but it didn't stop. This spider was doomed again and again. During this period, always guarding here like a bully to hunt. But you can still see, after being destroyed many times, the spider continues to weave its web. I really doubt the spider is threatened. In fact, the net is not only for hunting. Look again after the rain. The spider webs in man forest are also very beautiful. It's a very nice view. The ants that are about to be introduced are a group of harvesters. They are very organized. Prefers to live in a very dry environment. For example here, you can see they collected a lot of grain. These are the main components of their diet. This puts them in their new home. They seem to like it here. After the golden bamboo begins to forage, this reaction is still very satisfying. Not long after, they started digging. Soon, just dig a hole in the ground next to the test tube. The teacher said he was not sure about these guys. How well will you do in this environment? Because they are the species that need the driest environment. But this environment has a temperature. Humidity may not be friendly to them. So what they can do is, if necessary, provide some nutritious seeds, grain for them, to ensure they never lack food. Another worrying issue is, according to judgment, currently, the most big potential ants and the friction between groups. It is between the covering ants and the living bee colony network. They are everywhere. Similar body shape, but fortunately, they are still very regional. Also because their diets are very different. There is little competition for food between the two sides so far. Except for a fight between two workers. Nothing bad happened outside of the record. I really hope this kind of thing happens less often. Because both ants appear to be injured or dead. This shows that they are fighting. Not just an ant. Preying on another dead craft. Group B shouldn't always fight. But in nature, some Group B confrontation, it still helps to maintain the vigilance of Group B and helps control their population. So that they don't outgrow the ecosystem. This will indirectly affect all related organisms, cause adverse effects. But the current ecological environment is now full of ants. I hope they can all mature in a natural environment. Balance. But in this environment, you can only set scenes and decorations. The entire script can never be fully written. Go according to your wishes. Like this guy who suddenly appeared. It's beyond the plan. Now in this ecosystem, different species began to increase in number. As you can see, these plants are experiencing massive growth. The number of ants is also increasing. You can see, they gather together more and more to feed. Not just them. This fat gray guy is going to complete. He and his companions were hunted in large numbers. But relatives are still multiplying. They eat everything. Even rotten wood. The number of earthworms on the other side also began to surge. Ate anything they could. Even though they have no feet. But the speed of movement is not faster than. Animals are slow. And fortunately, this earthworm was targeted by ants. I don't know if he can escape this disaster. Always hunting. Is he looking for slugs? At this time, the slugs have reproduced. The number is also increasing. Look at this big brother's slug. There are scars on his body. Do you remember? Observe the rear of this elegant broadfish. You can see the bite marks that were forever. Later he might talk to his back. The story of Yongcha forever. Guess what this is? Guess the right answer, and you'll be rewarded. Did you guess right? This matter is forever separated, haha. Clearly a fierce predator is needed. Otherwise, insects such as isopods and earthworms will continue to increase. It will destroy this place, turf. And this is not a sustainable situation. Plants will soon be eaten alive. Who should I look for? You are not wrong. This is a group of tadpoles. You might guess. What to do is to cultivate a big killer. If successful, it can grow a ferocious large animal. Eating machine. Just do it. First make a small aquatic hybrid animal. Living environment. Special aquatic compartments are specially made. Even afraid of it being lonely, you can also add some mini fish. Under close observation, this aquatic pond is a bit turbid. The tadpoles can grow well inside. After a while, this tadpole has already grown several legs. Turned into a little guy that looked like a frog. A baby raised by oneself. The more I watch it, the more I like it. Although he is not fully grown yet, but he needs to accept his mission. Go into experience. Left home at a young age, there is no way because this ecosystem requires a fully grown frog. A big cleanup. To protect it from the constant reproduction of other species within. Thunder insect destruction. As time goes by, through observation during this period, there is a significant increase in the number of other species of animals. There are other things besides insects. There have also been many I see that the little toad has grown a lot. He has been working hard in this. Keep eating. Eat more, baby. This guy need a healthy aquatic and terrestrial habitat. This is a good place for him. To be honest, so far, this ecological environment is very important for existing animals. Still very satisfied. Now at the pond, you can see toads most of the time. But you might want to know, what is this coiled snake? This is a very active little guy. This is a snake. At first glance it looks like a snake. In fact, aliens from the family Snakebane are very similar to snakes, have movable eyelids. The tail with pierced ears can also be adjusted by itself. He's probably here preparing to hunt. Let's see where this is going this time. He moved to the edge of the tree. This is the judgment of an expert. This big tree has become many big, the place where animals like to stay. Always here. Scorpios like to stay here too. Even fire ants. It seems to like to build its nest in this rotten birch tree. It is truly a fusion of biodiversity. Ants. Hunter alliance composed of scorpion and others. The number of animals of the same species as the others. Healthy shrimp will reach a more moderate level. This is a beetle from the family of the cornered. He just wanted to enter the pond to avoid being hunted. But who knows? Even the pond, it may not be safe anymore. Let's look under the water. You can see the fish is growing bigger and bigger. They don't have any help. Death by drowning in a pond. Organisms for food. Look, they're eating drowned beetles this time. Through observation, we can find a hierarchical relationship is formed between fish. The biggest fish always has the final say. And most foods. Actually, just quietly observing the fish and the activities of these aquatic animals, sometimes it's a pleasant thing. In addition to fish, no other aquatic life was added to the water. Otherwise, there is not enough food and you need to feed. Otherwise, the balance will be disrupted. Eradicated in this beetle hunt. Made great contributions. Look how big he gets. Like a black coal. Okay, now let's do some feedback here. When the little toad first entered, there are many other ethnic groups. He can be found wherever he goes. I'm late no matter where I go. But in the end, the other species of animals have been eaten almost completely. He's getting bigger and bigger. The appetite is getting bigger and bigger. At this time, for the growth of the leader, place some external food to attract insects. He stood there like a guard. Eats all the adventurous bugs nearby. From a tadpole to the big black blanket of today. This is a bacterial change. He reached this size. Didn't even feed him once. He ate an unimaginable amount of food. Worms and pill bugs. So, I made a decision. Decided to release him. Let him go to a wider world. Go ahead, young man. From now on you will have to rely entirely on yourself. Come on, the future is promising. It was already winter when the toad chicks were sent away. Now let's go back to summer. This season. Breakdown. The one who is enjoying everything that is rotting. These two guys, Ron Yuan and Zish, are also enjoying a feast. They often unite together. Even though the lava, the earthworms you eat may look like snakes. But they never attacked each other. Let's take a look at their hunting process. It's on fire high. Today's video. Let's end with this cheerful rhythm. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Finally, I wish you all a happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Happy National Day. Family happiness. In good health.